You know, I'm not a big fan of LeBron James, but I said this. I would like to meet with LeBron, say, LeBron, I've decided I'm going to get out of the presidential business, get out of the real estate business. I'm going to become a basketball coach of women. And I'm going to get him and 4 or 5 other guys to transition. And we are going to have the greatest basketball team in history. We will be undefeated forever.
I can't emphasize what I'm about to say enough. The number one most important thing for the Lakers this offseason is getting Luka Doncic. This offseason is not about LeBron for the Lakers. It is about Luka.
How will Cleveland fans get over what happened tonight?
They won't. I truly believe they won't.
We've supported him for 7 years now. And for him to go on there and drag us through the mud for 7 years and stab us in the heart, he deserves everything he gets. He is dead to me.
LeBron James, a name once synonymous with greatness, dubbed King James and the Chosen One, entered basketball history as an unstoppable force. From a poor teenager in Akron, Ohio, he became a global icon, expected to redefine what it means to be a sports superstar and eclipse Michael Jordan's towering legacy. But what happened when the glow of King James began to dim, overshadowed by selfish decisions, an obsessive fixation on his legacy, and hypocritical statements driven by financial gain? From the earth-shaking the decision in 2010 to wielding authoritarian control over teams, exerting immense pressure on teammates, and culminating in his calculated silence during the 2019 China controversy, LeBron James transformed himself from a revered king into a polarizing figure, a cautionary tale of a superstar consumed by personal ambition and unchecked power. Today, we'll dissect the fragments of LeBron James' relentless downward spiral, analyzing how selfish choices, an obsession with legacy, and misguided strategies turned him from an icon into a painful example of failing to control ego. Why do millions of fans who once hailed him as a hero now question whether LeBron James still deserves the absolute respect he once commanded? And will history judge him as a true king or merely a power manipulator haunted by Michael Jordan's shadow, leaving behind a fractured and controversial legacy? In 2002, at just 17, LeBron James graced the cover of Sports Illustrated with the title, The Chosen One. It wasn't just a nickname, it was a prophecy, a promise of a basketball legend destined to dominate the NBA. LeBron didn't just embrace this title, he tattooed it on his back and dubbed himself King James. But from the start, those around him sensed the seeds of an oversized ego. A teammate from the Cleveland Cavaliers once remarked, "We've had better players than him at his position on the team. I don't think you can bring a high school kid in and think the team will change immediately." LeBron quickly proved his worth. In 2007, at 22, he scored 45 points in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, leading the unheralded Cavaliers to the NBA Finals. Ohio embraced him as a hero, a symbol of hope for a struggling city. But someone warned him, "They love you now, they really love you. But trust me, the first time something happens, they're waiting for it. They're waiting." LeBron's ambitions stretched beyond superstardom. He declared, "I want to be the greatest of all time." To do so, he had to surpass Michael Jordan. The man who redefined sports stardom became the NBA's first billionaire and a global commercial icon. LeBron called Jordan the ghost I'm chasing, the ghost that played in Chicago. This challenge wasn't just about on-court achievements, but about crafting a legacy that transcended basketball. LeBron's versatile playstyle, explosive highlights, and innate leadership made him an undeniable king in the eyes of millions. He brought hope to Cleveland, a city starving for glory. But his venomous ambition to surpass Jordan, his inflated chosen one ego, and his calculated legacy building sowed the seeds of his downfall. The first cracks began to show, and no one could have predicted they'd erupt through a decision announced on national television, shattering the hearts of those who loved him most.
Steph and Allen Iverson are the two biggest influential guys in our game since I've been watching and covering it.
LeBron is lying, okay? And he needs to stop. You know, no disrespect to Allen Iverson or Steph Curry, but when it comes to Jordan and the impact, the influence that he had on everybody, is no other, right? When it comes to listening to songs, like I want to be like Mike, like what are we talking about? We're talking about a guy that was in the music video with Michael Jackson. We're talking about a guy that has so much influence that you have grown men, retired former players, grown men that still post when they get shoes from Michael Jordan on the internet. You talk about like impact. Michael Jordan is the reason, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's the first to do it, but you talk about guys with their signature shoe, guys like Kyrie, guys like LeBron. Mike made that what it is today. Michael Jordan is one of one when it comes to impact and influence over everybody. And think about the impact he had on the late, great Kobe Bryant. I'm not knocking Steph. I'm not knocking AI. But Jordan and his everybody else, man. Let's stop.
On July 8, 2010, LeBron James announced his departure from the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Miami Heat through a one-hour live ESPN special called The Decision. This moment sparked intense controversy, marking a pivotal shift in his career and unleashing a wave of outrage from his hometown fans. The context was extraordinary. LeBron was the NBA's most coveted free agent, and Cleveland saw him as their greatest hope after years of struggle. Instead of a discreet announcement, he chose a live TV spectacle, famously declaring, "I'm taking my talents to South Beach." Though the show's proceeds went to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, the approach left many feeling betrayed. Some fans burned his jerseys, and many shared their heartbreak. "This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me." Soon after joining the Miami Heat, LeBron made a bold claim about the team's future, saying they'd win not one, not two, but 7 championships, a statement criticized as arrogant. Even coach Pat Riley seemed uneasy with the bravado. LeBron later admitted he knew the decision was tough while on the flight to Miami, a sign of the immense pressure he faced from expectations and media. The decision wasn't just a personal choice, it was a public display of an oversized ego. LeBron turned a private decision into a national TV event, designed to grab attention and control the narrative, but he misjudged the public's reaction. From a beloved athlete, he became one of the most hated figures on the planet. His first game back in Cleveland was a nightmare. A teammate recalled, "The hatred in the locker room wasn't just the booze, it was the looks, the things people said. I'll never forget that moment." Instead of apologizing or explaining, LeBron justified himself. "I'm looking at the bigger picture and I need championships." He blamed the media for misunderstanding his intentions, dismissing the pain of Cleveland fans who had supported him for 7 years. This move not only betrayed his hometown hero image, but exposed a calculated, empathy-lacking LeBron willing to sacrifice loyalty for personal glory. The question arises, would a true hero turn their back on their hometown for an easier shot at titles? Does a great athlete need a TV spectacle to announce a personal decision, hurting millions? The decision wasn't just a mistake, it was blatant manipulation, a brazen challenge to the values LeBron claimed to represent. From here, the image of King James began to crack, and the moniker Selfish King was born. After the decision, LeBron James didn't stop at shocking fans. He went further, becoming a domineering force in team operations, earning the nickname Lee GM, a self-appointed general manager controlling everything from trades to coaches. His obsession with surpassing Michael Jordan and building a cultural icon status akin to Muhammad Ali thrust him into an inescapable spiral of power, pressure, and hypocrisy. These actions not only eroded fans' trust, but exposed a LeBron willing to sacrifice teammates, loyalty, and the values he preached, all to serve his ego and personal legacy. In 2014, upon returning to Cleveland, LeBron was welcomed as a hometown hero. Yet, instead of signing a long-term contract, he opted for short-term deals with opt-out clauses, a strategy to maintain maximum control. Subsequent personnel decisions, like retaining Tristan Thompson at a high salary or bringing in close friend Dwayne Wade, were seen by some as tactically questionable. Others argued LeBron was simply building a familiar roster, trusting those who'd fought alongside him. The LeGM moniker thus carried both admiration and mockery. An anonymous teammate once said, "Playing with Bron is amazing, but the pressure will swallow you if you're not tough enough. You're always under scrutiny, expected to win instantly, or you'll face harsh criticism. It's both a gift and a curse." This captures the duality of a superstar's presence, where talent and power come with immense expectations and suffocating pressure. LeBron's influence extended to coaching relationships. The mid-season firing of coach David Blatt, despite the Cavaliers' strong record, sparked speculation. Some believed LeBron lost faith in Blatt's strategy, while others saw it as proof of his outsized control. Tyronn Lue, Blatt's replacement, led the team to a historic 2016 championship, fueling debate. Did LeBron's deep involvement yield positive results? LeBron's strategy of short-term contracts continued as a tool to maintain leverage in key decisions, including pushing to retain Thompson and J.R. Smith with lucrative deals post-championship. These moves drew criticism for straining the team's budget, but were also defended as rewards for key contributors. The line between loyalty, strategy, and control blurred, making LeBron's image both revered and contentious.
LeBron James needs to stop. He needs to stop. I'm so sick of him with this, how the league is covered, because he wanted to be covered a certain way that he wants it to be covered.
When LeBron James joined the Los Angeles Lakers in 2018, he brought his LeGM persona, reflecting his deep influence over team decisions, to Hollywood. He reportedly engaged with Anthony Davis on social media, paving the way for the blockbuster trade that brought Davis to the Lakers. However, this also created unease within the roster, with many players feeling their roles were no longer secure. By 2021, LeBron backed the trade for Russell Westbrook, a move later deemed ineffective, costing the team key defensive players like Alex Caruso, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Dennis Schroeder. A notable moment was Kyle Kuzma urging LeBron to defend, seen as a sign of tension in team dynamics. In 2022, LeBron reportedly expressed dissatisfaction with GM Rob Pelinka through cryptic comments and tweets. Yet Pelinka didn't fully cater to LeBron's wishes, and the Lakers prioritized future assets over short-term gains. Throughout his career, LeBron influenced over 100 player trades and draft picks. While some viewed this as overreach, others saw it as a superstar's high-stakes commitment to winning. Beyond the court, LeBron aimed to build a cultural icon status akin to Muhammad Ali. He founded a media company and produced socially conscious content, However, some campaigns like the slogan, "We can let them beat us," or "We can accept them," were criticized as shallow or cliché. Unlike Jordan, who avoided political statements, LeBron's bold remarks sometimes felt performative rather than rooted in deep conviction. Some argued. Controversy peaked in 2019 when Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey tweeted support for Hong Kong's democracy movement. LeBron, a global Nike ambassador with ties to China's massive market, said Morey was uninformed and his statement could cause financial, physical, and emotional harm. This sparked outrage in the US, with some fans accusing LeBron of betraying the freedom values he championed, while others saw him protecting millions in economic interests. Compared to icons like Muhammad Ali, who went to jail for refusing the draft, or Colin Kaepernick, who sacrificed his career to protest racism, LeBron faced a tougher dilemma, balancing a voice for justice with financial responsibilities tied to his global empire. Can someone be both a global businessman and a consistent activist? The public still debates this. The question arises, in an era where every word can spark global backlash, can a leader hold firm to personal beliefs without harming their commercial standing? Can a sports superstar with unprecedented influence inspire while making decisions that erode some fans' trust? LeBron, in his quest to build a legacy, reached the pinnacle but faced countless contradictions. The controversies around him remind us that the greater the power, the harder it is to meet every expectation flawlessly. LeBron James' journey from the chosen one expected to redefine greatness to a polarizing figure is a quintessential illustration of the pressures and contradictions in the modern era of sports superstars. His bold decisions, deep control over team operations, and relentless ambition to craft a legacy surpassing Michael Jordan brought him not only glory but also complex consequences. A challenged reputation, a dissected image, and skepticism from those who once saw him as an icon. For many, LeBron is a cautionary tale of how even the most exceptional athlete can lose support by sacrificing too much for personal goals. For others, he's a model of someone daring to seize their destiny, betting everything to reach a self-defined pinnacle. During the 2020 pandemic, the NBA Finals saw record-low viewership, partly attributed to the new sports environment and fan divisions. Though the Lakers won the championship, the excitement paled compared to past eras. A fan posted on X, "LeBron was my icon, but now I see him obsessed with passing Jordan." This sentiment, though personal, reflects a broader conflict between admiration for a legend and stringent expectations for moral role models. It's regrettable that had LeBron not been so consumed by Jordan's shadow, he might have been universally seen as the second most beloved player ever. Rising from poverty in Akron, Ohio to billionaire champion and activist, his journey deserves celebration. Yet controversial choices like the decision and his 2019 China comments left his legacy incomplete in some fans' eyes. Still, we must acknowledge LeBron isn't just an individual. He's a symbol of an era where athletes are no longer mere competitors but entrepreneurs, spokespeople, and political figures, with all the burdens that entails. The final question shouldn't be, does he measure up to Jordan? But in this era, can anyone be great without controversy? LeBron James, with all his cracks and peaks, embodies this complex time. Love or hate him, his legacy will continue to be shaped by that very controversy. LeBron James's future remains a big question mark, not just in the chase for titles, but in how history will remember him. His place in the GOAT, greatest of all time debate may never find consensus, as his legacy is both dazzling and deeply divisive. LeBron's journey offers a multifaceted lesson about sports careers in the era of media and personal power. His ambitious choices, sometimes stretching beyond an athlete's role, have thrust his image into a whirlwind of polarized reactions. Yet, this also makes him a unique figure. Not a perfect hero, but one who dared to control his fate, wield influence, and face the consequences. It's a stark reminder that in elite sports, fame isn't guaranteed by talent alone. It hinges on integrity, humility, and the ability to balance ego with social responsibility. When these elements falter, even the greatest can become controversial. Now at 40, LeBron continues to play for the Los Angeles Lakers, becoming the first NBA player to compete alongside his biological son. This isn't just a sports milestone, it's a symbol of enduring cross-generational influence. This season may be his last shot to approach Michael Jordan's 6 rings, but it's also a chance to redefine his career's final chapter with poise, maturity, and inspiration. Some argue LeBron no longer dominates team decisions as before, which could signal a shift in how he wields power from control to support. The question looms, can LeBron rewrite his story's ending, not through titles, but by concluding his journey with dignity and resilience? Or will his image remain overshadowed by debates about Jordan's legacy and his off-court influence? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, LeBron James, with all his flaws and brilliance, will forever be an inescapable figure in basketball history. The endless debates about him are in themselves proof of his irreplaceable stature.